Hello, everyone. I'm Doug Lewin, the host of Energy Capital Podcast, the #1 Texas energy podcast. Thanks to each and every one of you. Thanks for coming back to listen and learn about how energy is changing in the Lone Star State. My guest this week is Mary Powell, CEO of Sunrun. Sunrun has installed over 1 million solar power systems in the United States. They now account for 1 out of every 5 systems installed. So there's no one better to talk to about what motivates customers to invest their own capital in generating assets than Mary. We talked about the megatrends towards solar and storage combos, what energy independence really looks like, how every solar and storage installation can benefit not only the person or family or business installing it, but everyone using the grid. To realize those benefits, we need to get, as she put it, beyond the old-fashioned way of thinking about utility math. Mary knows of what she speaks. She was once the CEO of a utility, Green Mountain Power, a vertically integrated utility in Vermont. You talked about the partnership Sunrun has with Tesla in Texas, so their customers here can earn money in Texas' dynamic energy-only market. They also have a partnership with TXU Energy, one of the largest retailers in the state, using solar and storage systems as distributed power plants. One note, this was recorded before the election, so when we talked about the Inflation Reduction Act and related topics, we didn't yet know the outcome of the election. As always, please like and share the episode and leave us a 5-star review wherever you listen to podcasts. This is a paid subscriber episode. To listen to the full episode, please subscribe today at douglewin.com and get full access to the archives and like 200 articles on energy topics, subscriber-only content like our regular grid roundups and reading and podcast picks, podcasts like this one, and much, much more. If you're already a subscriber, thank you. We really appreciate your support. Thanks to everybody for listening, and have a great day. Mary Powell, welcome to the Energy Capital Podcast.
Thank you, Doug. It's so wonderful to be with you today. Thank you so much for your thought leadership on all things energy, and I was so looking forward to connecting.
Well, thank you for all you do. I've been wanting to talk to you for a long time. Obviously, been following your career for quite a while and excited about all the things you're doing at Sunrun. I hear you talk all over the place. You are very much the thought leader yourself. Obviously, this is the Energy Capital Podcast. We focus on Texas. Can we just start with just kind of what is Sunrun doing in Texas? How many customers, how big a market is this for you? Just talk about Texas a little bit and how it is.
Oh, right. Yeah. Let's talk Texas, Doug.
Yes.
I'm excited to talk Texas. Texas is really a growing leader, as you know, in leveraging solar and batteries to shore up grid resiliency, which is like right in the sweet spot of, all of the thought leadership I've been provoking in this industry for 20 years, which is let's move forward in a way that we're not just accelerating this consumer-led revolution to a more affordable, resilient way for people all across America to power their homes, power their transportation, but let's do it in a way that actually can make the grid more affordable and resilient for everybody. And so I'm just big on Texas. So let's go big in Texas. Texas now ranks number 3rd in the country. It surpassed California in the latest market report for adding jobs and panels to its energy portfolio. And Sunrun, Doug, as you probably know, has been in Texas since 2016. So we're really excited about the work that we're doing there. We are selling not just solar plus storage, but in many, many homes in Texas. We are also selling a more sophisticated electric panel through this company called SPAN. And that not just gives homeowners, the resiliency of storage and the ability to power through events for long periods of time, but also gives them a more sophisticated energy experience during outages. So yes, I'm all excited, as you can tell. So I don't want to keep talking and not get to the next question.
No, keep talking. This is all good. I actually want to just ask you, what did you say? We, obviously, as you know, we have a friendly rivalry with California. What did we just pass California? I know we're past California utility scale solar, but we're way behind on distributed solar, right? But was it in jobs, you said?
Well, Texas now ranks 3rd in the country for residential rooftop solar, as you probably know. And yeah, it surpassed California in the latest SEIA market report for adding jobs and panels to its energy portfolio. So,
Fantastic.
Yeah. So again, we're excited about what's happening in Texas. We're also excited, I think, Doug, as you know, we're working with both Tesla Electric, as well as Vistra on programs in Texas to, again, leverage all of these customers that we've been adding on in a way that they can work with the grid. In Hurricane Beryl, we had 1,600 customers that powered through that event, which was just phenomenal. We spoke to a number of those customers. One of the stories that really touched my own heart was the fact that the customer told us that not only were they able to continue to power their own home for 9 consecutive days. I mean, think about that, Doug. 9 consecutive days, because they had not just storage, but they also had solar. But then you also heard of these customers that were so excited that they were able to use extension cords to provide power to their neighbors' homes. I mean, it's just crazy when you think about the community benefits that can come from this customer-led revolution.
One of the reasons, there's so many reasons I was excited to talk to you, but I think one of those reasons, Mary, is you're, maybe not unique, but rare in the sense that you are obviously deep in the details, but you also have this ability to communicate and use terms that people understand. And so you're kind of like perfect for our audience, because we have this mix of folks that are energy experts and folks that are not energy experts, but because of Winter Storm Uri and Hurricane Beryl and so on and so forth are paying attention to the grid and want to know more. Actually, for both of those audiences, because I think there's some misconceptions among energy experts as well on this. I think the way a lot of people think of storage, Mary, is like the way you see it kind of on the bulk grid, right? It's going to deploy for an hour or two. And so there's this common misconception that during a storm, storage can only last an hour or two. It's not going to do that much for you. Can you talk a little bit more about the experience of those 1,600? I know you spend a whole lot of time personally talking to your customers and understanding their experience. First of all, how are you configuring those batteries to actually make it all the way through the night? And B, what did you hear from customers in the wake of that horrific event in Houston?
Yeah. So again, so thank you. I do like to talk in common sense terms, because I really do believe ultimately that, the future that I'm most hopeful about is one that I believe is going to happen because of this customer-led revolution. And the only way the customer-led revolution will accelerate is for people to gain understanding. And so again, that's why I really appreciate the work that you do, Doug, because it's really important that we articulate the massive benefits to consumers in improving their lives by transitioning to newer, more innovative technology to power their homes and transportation. So yes, simply put, I'm a firm believer in solar and in storage. And as you know, I ran a utility for a long time. I was an executive there for 20 years, and I was the CEO for 12 years. And in that 12 years, I would say the most important thing I feel I did was really prove that solar and storage in Vermonters' homes could be used to lower the cost of the grid for all the other customers that we served, while also providing what utilities, they were never really built for perfect power, but with climatic changes, it's not even close that they can deliver perfect power, because they in essence are running a massive grid that then has all these distributed parts and pieces, but is basically, about 40% economically efficient on a good day, and is not built for climatic events. So, a big part of why I leaned into distributed technologies and innovation is A, I love innovation, but B, it's like I was sitting on top of 100-plus-year-old way of doing things that felt like it was not just primed for disruption, but it felt like it was never going to be able to be the solution we needed with the acceleration of climatic events. And that's exactly what you're seeing. Look at what happened in Hurricane Beryl. You had transmission towers that looked like twigs and twine in masses on the ground. And that's like when I joined the utility industry over 20 years ago, the exact same thing happened, Doug. It was an ice storm in the Northeast that literally turned transmission towers going from Canada into the United States of America, just brought them down. So turned them into twigs and twine is what I like to say. So we need these solutions that can power homes in a more energy efficient way, and have the generation of power sitting right on top of where the power is needed and being used, but with storage and generation in the same location. Again, that's how I got to the example of we had a customer that went 11 days and could have gone longer, because you have that magic that happens between solar and storage. Storage alone is also super powerful. Solar alone is powerful, but the pairing of them is where you really get that magic, not just for the consumer, for the customer and how they live their life, but also for the grid, because it also helps to future-proof the customer from the changing utility rate structures, right? Where you can alter the profile of the storage device to meet the needs of rate structures as well. That, again, utilities, as they're looking to figure out ways to solve to the future, they are looking at more complicated ways of, we'll pay more for energy here, you're going to charge you more there. So it also really future-proofs the home in that sense. But I think that the most important thing, and you're right, I talk to customers, I call customers every week. I am out in our Lowe's selling to customers with our reps. I'm out with installation crews installing. And, what really just, again, is so important to me is I'm hearing over and over again, customers telling me, Mary, you're selling me peace of mind. You're selling me economic stability. You're selling me a greater sense of safety and comfort in my own home, because I don't have to worry about the disruptions of the grid. And in many cases, they're also getting the joy of then helping their neighbors during these scary climatic events and providing comfort and power in their communities.
Yeah, I think energy security, energy independence, for years and years, we would hear from elected officials about energy independence. This is really a true energy independence, because you have that ability to produce and store power on site. Thank you for listening to this free preview of the Energy Capital podcast. You can access the entire episode as well as the Texas Energy and Power newsletter archives at douglewin.com. That's DOUGLEWIN.com. You'll also be able to attend paid subscriber-only chats, and you'll receive full access to all of the Texas Grid roundups and reading and podcast picks. Please check it out, and thank you for listening.